John Fitzgerald Kennedy was born into a family that was not just wealthy, but extremely powerful. His father, Joseph Kennedy, was a business magnate and one of the most influential men in American politics, a strategist who shaped the future of his children for a predetermined destiny. From an early age, John was groomed for something greater. Raised among the American elite, Kennedy studied at Harvard and served as a Navy officer, where he demonstrated leadership and courage. The Kennedy family was no ordinary family. They were regarded as American royalty, holding key positions in government and shaping the country's political future. But with such power also came enemies. In 1960, at the age of 43, John F. Kennedy became the youngest elected president in U.S. history. His marriage to Jacqueline Kennedy further strengthened his public image, a perfect couple, admired by the people but closely watched by hidden forces. Charismatic, bold, and progressive, Kennedy faced the Cold War, the Cuban Missile Crisis, and launched one of the greatest space programs in history. But the more he challenged the system, the closer he came to his final destiny. And on that fateful day, November 22, 1963, in Dallas, the forces that had been pursuing him finally took action. The clock struck 12:30 p.m. President John Kennedy smiled and waved to the crowd. Beside him, Jacqueline Kennedy seemed unaware that these would be her husband's final moments. As the presidential car turned onto Elm Street, it slowed down. Suddenly, the first shot missed. But the second shot pierced Kennedy's back, traveled through his neck, and struck Texas Governor John Connally. Then came the third shot, the one that changed history. It hit Kennedy's head, shattering part of his skull. His body collapsed instantly into Jacqueline's arms. But it was too late. The president was dead. But the question that was never truly answered is, who really pulled the trigger? A lone gunman, or something far greater than we ever imagined? But was this death already written in fate? Could Nostradamus have foretold Kennedy's end? And more importantly, is history on the verge of repeating itself? Then let's uncover what was hidden in Nostradamus' prophecy about Kennedy. An ancient task will be completed from above. Evil will fall upon the great man. An innocent dead will be accused from above, and the guilty will remain in mystery. Nothing about Kennedy's assassination was random. The number 22 carries a historical weight that few recognize. 22 is a number with a dual symbolism: power and destruction. It is a master number in numerology, associated with leaders who change the world. But when misdirected, it can signify tragedy and collapse. In various ancient cultures, the number 22 is linked to destiny and the downfall of great kings. Now, look at something astonishing. When we break down 1963 by adding its digits, we get 10 and 9. In Kabbalah, 10 is the number of completion, the fulfillment of a mission. 9, on the other hand, represents the transition into a new era. Together, these vibrations suggest that Kennedy's death was not a random event, but rather a prophetic code of closure and the renewal of power. And now, in 2025, a leader is doing exactly the same thing, and accumulating even more dangerous enemies. Trump has always been a controversial figure, but in this new term, he is going even further. He has declared war on what he calls the hidden government, vowing to expose all the system's secrets. But is he signing his own death warrant? But who are Donald Trump's true powerful enemies? Who will reveal their true face? Who are Trump's most dangerous enemies? With immigrants being deported, military forces stationed at the U.S. border, ongoing protests, and the arrests of cartel leaders, not to mention financial and corporate elites losing power, the list is growing. If Kennedy supposedly had the CIA and the mafia as his enemies, Trump is facing even more unpredictable and ruthless adversaries. If history has taught us anything, it's that those who challenge the system, who interfere with the hidden forces of power, often meet a tragic fate. Trump, just like Kennedy, has made powerful enemies. He has disrupted the system, questioned institutions, and challenged what once seemed untouchable. But is he also walking an inevitable path? A path that has already been written in the numbers, the prophecy and his destiny? Now, let's examine the date July 4, 2025, through Kabbalistic numerology. Are the same signs present? If we sum its digits, we get the number 20, a number deeply connected to judgment and the radical transformation of a cycle. It symbolizes a moment when everything that has been built can collapse, leading to either a new path or total destruction. Moreover, July 4th is a day of celebration in the United States. But behind the spectacle of fireworks and national pride, could it also be the perfect day for an attack? The exact moment when distraction becomes the ideal cover for such a bold act. Nostradamus wrote about a great leader falling under the thunder, a bright light, an unexpected event, a collapse that would alter the course of history. Could this prophecy be referring to July 4, 2025? Kennedy's death shocked the world. But what if we are about to witness a new chapter in this prophecy? History always has a strange way of repeating itself. The only question that remains is, are we ready for what might happen?